Well, I knew he was going, and so in the meantime, we had my son. He said, maybe knowing that we're going to go, maybe you'd better make arrangements to go back before it really breaks, because he said then everybody's going to be moving and you might be here for a couple months. So on his suggestion, not because I wanted to go, I took my son and I went back on the train, North Dakota, and the Army came in and packed all our stuff that we had. We didn't have a lot, but the stuff we had, and sent it back to where my parents were. We didn't know how lucky we were. My husband might have had some inside, I don't know, but I hadn't been home 2 days. He called me and said that they were leaving on a troop train out of Adair. Of course, nothing is, you don't know anything. Anything you ask, you didn't ask me that question, I don't know. And so anyway, but I knew from east to west, and he was going to the East Coast. He knew that. He was going to some fort on the East Coast. And so I said, told my father when I got home, and he said, we'll just sort of, he had all these buddies that were conductors and break. He said, I'll just spread the word around, he said. And so if there's a troop train coming through or something, because there were a lot of them going. And I had been out to the rink, and I came back and had driven in the driveway, and my mother had met me right there, and she said, Joyce, you've got to go to the depot right away. I said, well, why? And she said, I don't know. But Phil called, and he can't tell me anything. Anyway, I went down there. There was a troop train there. He and two of his buddies were there. So I got to spend 15 minutes with him. Afterwards, we found out that they knew they were coming through Minot. He finally got from the conductor, when they got into Montana, they were coming through Minot. He asked the guys that fed the coal and stuff, they said, do we need to stop in Minot for coal? Oh, no, we just filled up, and so-and-so. So anyway, the guys were there throwing the coal out of the train so that they had to stop in Minot, and they did. And so I got to spend like 15 minutes with him. The conductor left the step down, on the last car, and he got on I waved at him, and so he left. After I got home, my mother said, did you see him? And I said, yes.